Questions 1 through 10 on the 2013 Grade 12 AMC 12A. Square ABCD has side length 10, point E is on BC, and the area of ABE is 40. What is BE? This is 10, this is 10, and they told me that the area of this triangle ABE is 40. So the area of the triangle is calculated as 1/2 base times height. So the base we can use as BA, and the height we can use as BE. Let's substitute in the values. The area is 40. 1/2 BA is from here to here, which is 10. And BE is what we're trying to figure out. So this becomes 40 is equal to 5 times BE, and therefore BE would be 40 divided by 5, which is 8. And therefore, number 1, the answer is E. A softball team played 10 games, scoring 1 through 10 runs. They lost by 1 run in exactly 5 games. In each of the other games, they scored twice as many runs as their opponent. How many total runs did the opponent score? We have our team, and then we have our opponents. Our team score are 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up until 10. So let's talk about this. Let's look at this one first. They scored twice as many runs as their opponent. So the only way that's possible is if you look at the even numbers. That's the only way that you're going to be able to get integer values. So in those games, they scored twice as many as their opponents. So the opponents would have scored 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then in the other ones, in the other games, they lost by 1 run. So that means for these guys, if they lost by 1 run, the opponents must have scored 1 more run. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So now they want you to figure out how many total runs did their opponent score. Well, we just have to add these guys. And when you do, 2 plus 1, 3, 7, 9, 15, 18, 26, 30, 40, 45. So when you add those numbers up, it's 45, and that's the total number of runs the opponent scored. Number 2, therefore, the answer is C. A flower bouquet contains pink roses, red roses, pink carnations, and red carnations. 1/3 of the pink flowers are roses, 3/4 of the red flowers are carnations, and 6/10 of the flowers are pink. What percentage of the flowers are carnations? So we have PR, pink roses, we have PC, pink carnations, red roses, RR, and red carnations. So they're saying that 1/3 of the pink flowers are roses. So 1/3 of these pink guys are roses. And that means 2/3 are carnations. And then if you go over to the red flowers, they tell me that 3/4 of them are carnations, and therefore 1/4 of them must be roses. And then if you look at it from the entire perspective, they're saying that 6/10 of the flowers are pink. So these guys make up 6/10 of all the flowers, and therefore these must make up 4/10 of all the flowers. So now, to make the math easy, let's let all the flowers be 100, meaning there's 100 total flowers. That means that 60 are pink and 40 are red. And then of those 60, 1/3 are pink roses. So that means 20 are PR. And then 2/3 of the 60 are pink carnations, so that means that's 40. And then very similarly on this side, red roses comprise 1/4 of this 40, so that's 10. And then 3/4 of 40 is 30. So they want you to figure out what percentage of the flowers are carnations. Carnations are here and here, and that would be 40 and 30, so 40 plus 30, divided by the total number, which is 100. So that's 70 over 100, which is 70%. And therefore, number 3, the answer is E. What is the value of this expression? 2 to the 2014 plus 2 to the 2012 all over 2 to the 2014 minus 2 to the 2012. Well, we can factor out a 2 to the power of 2012, and when you do, you get 2 to the power of 2 plus 1 on the numerator, and if you factor out the same 2 to the power of 2012 in the denominator, you'll get 2 to the power of 2 minus 1. These guys cancel, and you're left with 4 plus 1 over 4 minus 1, and that is 5 over 3. So number 4, the answer is C. Tom, Dorothy, and Sammy went on vacation and agreed to split the costs evenly. During their trip, Tom paid $105, Dorothy paid $125, and Sammy paid $175. In order to share the costs equally, Tom gave Sammy T dollars and Dorothy gave Sammy D dollars. What is T minus D? We have Tom, Dorothy, and Sammy, and their expenses is $105, $125, and $175. So to equalize this, Tom spends a little bit more money in the form that he gives it to Sammy. So he's going to spend T dollars more, but that money is really, he's just giving it to Sammy. So that means that Sammy's expenses have gone down a little bit. He's been given some money. Because remember, these numbers represent their expenses or their costs. Dorothy is going to also give some money, and she's giving D. So now she has already spent $125. Now she's spending another D. So her total expenses are $125 plus D. But that money she's giving to Sammy, so he can kind of alleviate his burden a bit. He spent $175, but he's been given some money from Tom and Dorothy, so his overall expenses go down a little bit. And now they're saying that these are now equal. So mathematically, that means that 105 plus T is equal to 175 minus T minus D. And simplifying, you get D is equal to 70 minus 2T. It also means that 125 plus D is equal to 175 minus D minus T. And simplifying here, we get T is equal to 50 minus 2D. So we can now solve. We can plug this guy into this guy. So we have 70 minus 2 times T, but that's 50 minus 2D. And therefore it's D 70 minus 100 plus 4D, and therefore 30 is equal to 3D, and therefore D is equal to 10. Substitute that into here, and you get T is equal to 50 minus 2 times 10, and that means T is equal to 50 minus 20, so T is 30. So finally T minus D will be 30 minus 10, which is equal to 20. So, number 5, the answer is B. In a recent basketball game, Chenille attempted only 3-point shots and 2-point shots. She was successful on 20% of her 3-point shots and 30% of her 2-point shots. Chenille attempted 30 shots. How many points did she score? 3-pointers and 2-pointers. So, they're saying that 20% of those shots are successful and 30% of these shots. So I'll let X and Y be the number of 3-pointers and 2-pointers respectively. Then they told me that the total number of shots is 30. So X plus Y is 30. Or we can isolate that Y is equal to 30 minus X. Now we want to figure out how many points did she score. The number of points she scored would be the number of successful 3-pointers times 3 points for each of those. Then the number of successful 2-point shots times 2 points for each of those. If you multiply this out, you get 0.6x plus 0.6y. But y is equal to 30 minus x, so let's substitute that in. 0.6 times 30 minus x. So this gives me 0.6x plus 18 minus 0.6x. This cancels with that, and you're left with just 18. So that's the number of points she scored. Number 6, therefore, the answer is B. The sequence S1 to S10 has a property that every term beginning with the third is the sum of the previous two. That is, Sn is equal to Sn minus 2 plus Sn minus 1 for n greater than or equal to 3. Suppose that S9 is 110 and S7 is 42. What is S4? S1, S2, S3, and so forth, all the way up until S10. So what we'll do first is we'll first calculate what each of these is in terms of the S's, and then we will look at those two. And I think we only need to go up to S9 because S10 doesn't really help in the question. So here we go. S1 is just S1, and then S2 is just S2. But then once we get to that third term, we have to add the previous two. So that means S3 will be S1 plus S2, right? You have to add the previous two. S4 will be the sum of the previous two. So that's S1 plus 2S2. S5 is the sum of the previous two. So it will be 2S1 plus 3S2. And so on. S6 will be 3S1 plus 5S2. S7 is 5S1 plus 8S2. S8 is 8S1 plus 13S2. And finally, S9 is 13S1 plus 21S2. All right. So they gave me values for S9 and S7. So let's look at those. S9 is this guy right here. And they told me that is equal to 110. So 13S1 plus 21S2 is 110. And then S7 is another one they gave me, and that's this guy. So that means that 5S1 plus 8S2 is 42. So these are the system of equations we have to solve. So I'll call this equation 1, and I'll call that equation 2. Well, any way you'd like to do this is fine. I'm just going to do 5 times equation 1, subtract from it 13 times equation 2. That will get rid of the S1. So when I do that, I get 65S1 plus 105S2 minus 13 times S2. So it's 65S1 minus 13 times 8, which is 104 S2. And on the other side, I will get 550 minus 546. As planned, the S1s cancel, and I'm just left with S2. And on this side, I'm left with S4. So it's a great result. Sub that back into any of these, and you will get S1 is equal to 2. And therefore, they want me to figure out what is S4. Well, S4 is this guy right here. And that is S1 plus 2S2. So that's going to be 2 plus 2 times 4. And that is equal to 10. So number 7, the answer is 10, which is choice C. Given that x and y are distinct non-zero real numbers such that x plus 2 over x is equal to y plus 2 over y, what is x times y? X plus 2 over x is equal to y plus 2 over y. So let's multiply top and bottom here by x, top and bottom here by y to get common denominators. And this gives me x squared plus 2 over x, and this is y squared plus 2 over y. Cross multiply and you get x squared y plus 2y is equal to xy squared plus 2x. Factor out a, actually before you factor, let's put everything on one side that looks similar. And then I'll put that 2y on the other side. Now let's factor. On this side, if I factor out a 2, I just get x minus y. And this side, if I factor out the xy, I get x plus y, like that. Actually, these should be negatives. Sorry about that. So when you brought this over, it's supposed to be a negative. So that's negative and that's negative. Okay, that makes much more sense. So now this guy and this guy we can cancel because they told me that x does not equal y. They're distinct. So once those are canceled, xy is equal to 2. And that's it. So number 8, the answer is D. In triangle ABC, AB and AC are 28 and BC is 20. Points DE and F are on sides AB, BC, and AC respectively, such that DE and EF are parallel to AC and AB respectively. What is the perimeter of parallelogram ADEF? Well, let's start labeling this. This is 28, this is 28, and this is 20. Well, they told me that AB is equal to AC, so that means this is isosceles. And since it's isosceles, we can conclude that these are also going to be isosceles. This right here and this right here. Why? Because they told me that these lines are parallel. DE is parallel to AC. And since they're parallel, those two triangles will be similar. And those two triangles are the big one, ABC, and the smaller one, DBE. So let's label this now. Let's call this Y from D to B, and then from A to D, let's call that X. And since this is isosceles, that means D to E is also Y. And therefore, since EF is parallel to AB, we know that EF will be X. And similarly, AF will be Y. So the perimeter of that parallelogram ADEF is really just 2 times X plus Y. Now X plus Y is the distance all the way from there to there, and that is 28. So X plus Y is equal to 28. So instead of X plus Y, I can put 28 there, and therefore the perimeter is 56. So that's pretty much how you do that. Number 9, the answer therefore is C. Let S be the set of positive integers n for which 1 over n has the repeating decimal representation 0.ab, which equals 0.ab, so on, with a and b different digits. What is the sum of the elements of S? 1 over n is of the form 0.ab repeat. So what that means is that 1 over n is a number of the form 0.ab, and so on, right? The ab's just keep on going. Now, if you multiply both sides by 100, you'll get 100 over n, and this side will become ab dot ab, and so on. But the good news about doing this is you can subtract this one from that one, and that will get rid of everything after the fraction. So it becomes 100 over n minus 1 over n, and this becomes ab dot ab, like that, dot, minus that 0.ab, dot. And when you do that, the only thing you get on the right side is just ab, right? And then this becomes 99 over n. So ab is an integer. It's some integer, and therefore 99 over n must be an integer. So now we have to explore, how do we make 99 over an n an integer? Well, n can equal what? To understand that, we have to break up 99 into its prime factors. It's 3 times 3 times 11. And therefore, the prime factors would be 1, or any factors, doesn't necessarily have to be prime, but the divisors, I guess, a better way of saying it, 1, 3, 9, 11, 33, 99. I think that covers it. There should be 6, right? Yeah, and there are 6. Okay, so now let's look at each of these and figure out what we get for our 1 over n. So let's start with the first one. When n is 1, our 1 over n is 1 over 1, which is just 1. And that's not of this form, right? So that doesn't help us. Okay, that takes care of that one. When n is 3, our 1 over n is 1 over 3, and that is 0.3333. And initially you might think, okay, that's good, but the problem is that a and b have to be different. You see what I mean? This is 0.33, a and b are the same, so that's no good. All right, let's go to number 9. 1 over 9 is what is 1 over n this time, and 1 over 9 is 0.111, so on. Again, we run into the same problem. A and b are not different, so that's no good. All right, let's try 11. 1 over n becomes 1 over 11, and 1 over 11 is 0.09 repeat, and that is good. That is of the form that we want. So n equals 11 is one of the elements of S. Let's try 33. 1 over 33 is 0.03 repeat, and that's good. That's also satisfying the conditions. So that's an element of S. And then finally 99. 1 over 99 is 0.01 repeat, and again, that satisfies the condition. So the set S is really consisting of 3 numbers, 11, 33, and 99. And what they're asking for is the sum of the elements. Okay, well, the sum of the elements are 11 plus 33 plus 99, and that is equal to 143. So the answer for number 10 is D.